Doors will open when you take time to focus and get clarity for you. What are you put on this earth to do? I promise you there's something. You just gotta find it. What's up, you guys? Dr. J here, and it's been a little while. So first off, I just want to say hi. One of the things that I really want to dive into is part of why I've been gone so long, and it all sort of ties into, needing to learn to say no. Hey man, don't touch it, Saying no is very difficult for a lot of us, especially young women and people who have been high achievers or who are gifted or blessed in different ways. And I am on this journey of learning to say no. I'm still not great at it, but oftentimes, and one of the things that I really want to discuss is not saying no necessarily to other people, but saying no to yourself. Because if you're anything like me, the ideas, the opportunities, all of these things, they come from my own brain, right? I am so quick to have an idea and say, can I reasonably do that, yes or no? And if the answer is yes, I'm on top of it. And I know there's many of you out there that are similar in that way. You can have an idea or you see something that you want to do and you're just willing to go after it. And there's some of you that may struggle in that area, may want to have that gusto to be able to just go after it and do it and move with no fear, but it can be difficult for you, and that's okay too. I think a lot of times when we're considering saying no, whether that's from others or from ourselves, it's really just important to start with your why in mind and figure out, what do I really want to get out of this situation? I saw a quote actually from Lindsay Lohan. She has been on the rise, on the move, doing so many incredible things since the drug use disorders, and she's moved to Dubai, and now she's back in Hollywood making movies, and it's incredible to watch. And she made this quote that said, "It took me taking time for me for all of those doors to open." And I thought that was so profound because I've been feeling that exact same way in this season of my life. And I really just wanted to sort of expound upon that. So recently, it's so crazy. I've lived life where there's always been so many things that I'm doing. From sports, as a child, I was a 3-sport athlete from like elementary all the way up to high school, and then I played 2 in college. I pledged Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, which was another extracurricular activity. I was the president of different organizations. I started businesses. I attended completely unrelated, outside of pharmacy school, like Saturday camps and trainings, and I was doing all sorts of stuff, really just staying busy constantly. And that has been the most difficult thing to unlearn, is the need to always be doing something. And it has honestly taken me, I am 28, it has taken me to my 28th year to learn to say no and then to accept the no. Because one of the other things that I would struggle with, I'd be like, no, but then I would go replace that thing with something. If I would say, okay, I'm gonna stop this, I would find something else to do in its place. And I started with that, right? But I'm very proud of myself this year. I was able to say no, and in saying no, I found myself a lot more happy and comfortable with the things that I am doing, and a lot of opportunities have presented themselves, because I think what happens is you don't have chaos in your life. Other people can perceive that you don't have chaos in your life, and the things that you are sharing in this new social media age, it's very clear, it's very concise, it's very easy to say, okay, I can hire Jordan for that. And so this is a huge lesson, and it's something that I think I've kind of known, but I couldn't put into practice. And so I really just wanted to create this video to sort of encourage you to say, if there's something that you've been doing, you've been thinking about, and it doesn't really feel aligned with what you're doing right now, then maybe you need to stop the thing, right? Maybe there's an opportunity that's waiting on you to simply stop allowing so much of the chaos in your life. I think it is so incredible that I went to a brunch today, that's why I'm all dolled up, and I love seeing so many women, so many successful people being honored for the work that they're doing, and I love even more hearing the birthing story of how those things occurred, hearing the trials and tribulations, hearing, what happened, how did you get there, what was this born out of? A lady today at the brunch who was being honored said that her organization was birthed out of the passing of some of her family members and really just wanting to honor them. And that's a dark and sort of morbid side of that. But at the same time, it's so beautiful because being able to honor the people that have come before you and that being your reason why, right? Like for me, my reason why is you guys, right? The people that I hope and aim to serve. I fully believe that God has chosen me to, and we had a question today, what is an affirmation that you have for yourself? And then you share your story, and then whoever you shared it with will then tell you an affirmation based off of your story. And I was struggling because I was like, what is my affirmation to myself? I was like, I could say ambitious, but that's sort of expected. I could say I'm intelligent, but that's also sort of expected. And I said, I don't know what to put. I'm struggling. And one of my friends, he said, put chosen. And I was like, ooh, me? Oh my goodness. But when I really thought about that, I was like, okay, now I have to come up with a story behind that. And so my affirmation to myself was, hello, I am Jordan, and I believe God has provided me with the talents to produce for the benefit of others. Essentially meaning that everything that I've done, everything that I continue to do and work towards is for the benefit of the people around me, for the benefit of my community. And it's so incredible to know that. Like, I've known that for a while now, but to now be able to process and to put into practice those things, it's really quite beautiful. And I'm so excited because what I've always lacked in some ways is clarity. And let me tell you, clarity is a beautiful thing because clarity means purpose, right? You know now what you're intended to do. And it's so much easier to work towards a goal when you have the end in mind. And it's okay, you find yourself in spaces of failure when you know that, okay, this is just part of the process. Like, oh man, that didn't work out, but okay, let me just learn how to pivot. What do we need to do instead? Because at the end of the day, when you have purpose, when you have clarity around what it is that you're supposed to be doing, that vision is so incredibly clear. And when you find that, oh, that didn't work out or this didn't go the way that I'd hoped, it's okay. It really is okay. You don't have this desire to give up or this sudden like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Because you're finding that it's just all part of the process. You work towards things and you pick up a rock and it's got a couple of jagged edges, and you pick up another rock and it's dented on the side, and you pick up another rock and it's got mold on it, and then you pick up a rock and it's smooth. And suddenly everything makes sense. And that's the thing, like, look for your smooth rock. Look for the things that you're really hoping to get across, the things that make sense and the things that allow you to pivot. You're gonna go from step to step to step and find things that don't work, but that's part of it, right? You have to know what doesn't work in order to know what does. And if you don't go through that process, if you get it really quickly, if you find that it works out perfectly the first time, then you don't know what mistakes to avoid in the future. Or it can happen really quickly and you still may find that as you continue to progress and scale, that you still find that you fail. And that's okay. I really just want to share this message that failure is okay. Failure is part of the process. And you failing does not make you a failure. It's okay. Don't fear it, embrace it. I think that's been one of my greatest keys to success, is that I've been able to say, that wasn't exactly how I thought that would go, but that's okay. What's next? And by being able to have that resilience, because I've been through some tough times and I know I don't look like it. And I know that, on the outside looking in and my background story, there's a lot that seems like just perfectly went my way. And don't get me wrong, I have had a fabulous life with amazing blessings and amazing support, and I could not take that for granted. And I am so blessed because I know that I am where I am today for those people and the things that were placed in my path. However, there's also a lot that goes into that, right? There's a lot that you still have to do all on your own. And if you're in that season where you're fighting for yourself and trying to figure out what's next, what do, I really want you to take it back to, what am I good at? What do people compliment me on? What do people say? Because people used to tell me, Jordan, you're really well spoken. My grandmother, before she passed, Jordan, you're just really well spoken. And I always thought that like, what do I have to say? Like, okay, I'm well spoken, but what am I going to talk about? And I am so grateful because that was sort of almost like prophecy. I don't know if prophecy is the right word, but just speaking that over me. And so for me, it was like, I want to do that. I want to make her proud, right? Like, I want to keep in mind that, this is something that she always thought highly of me on. And I value very much my grandmother's opinion. And so what is something that, maybe somebody has complimented you on, or maybe someone has said highly of you, or something that you want to impress somebody on? What do those different things look like, right? And then take that and formulate a plan to execute and find ways to make it either a business or something to promote yourself for, or create a digital product, whatever that looks like, right? There's so many talents that we all have. Even if you don't feel like it's a talent, what do you like to do? What do you know that you're good at? Take out the self-wallowing, the pity, and all of that stuff. What are you dope at? You're dope at something, we all are. If it's making people laugh, if you were told, oh, you're the class clown, then maybe you are super funny, and maybe that means you make funny t-shirts, or maybe that means you should be a comedian. I don't know. I'm here that's a very difficult job, but that's okay, right? Really identify what are the things that, and there's a word right there. What are the things that people have either spoken highly of you on, or have tried to weaponize and make you feel bad about? What's something that like makes you feel horrible? Like somebody told you, oh, you're not, or you won't, or I can't believe you, whatever, like negative thing. What is that negative thing? How can you flip that for your good? How can you say, actually, you're right, and I'm going to use that because somebody else out there feels that? And maybe it's just speaking about your experience. Maybe it's simply saying, you know what, I was the class clown. I joked a lot because I didn't feel that smart, and that made me really uncomfortable in school. And now you can go share that, because I guarantee you there's tons of children in these schools that just don't feel like anyone understands them. They don't understand the material. They're super unsure of what they're supposed to do next. They're unsure about college. All of these things happen frequently every generation, and you can use that. So don't ever allow someone else's words to count you out. You are so incredibly capable. Every time I speak, people say, what are some last words? I tell people all the time, you are wildly capable. Wildly capable, greater than you would ever think or imagine. And whatever has been placed inside of you is meant for the world to see. And I need you to know that somebody is waiting on you. Somebody is waiting on you to identify that thing so you can talk about it, so you can be about it, so you can take action on it, so you can do it. We need you. And how dare you hold back your purpose? How dare you withhold from us what we need from you? You're special. And I'm not going to let you forget it. So, like I said, I really wanted to talk about saying no and how saying no helps to transform your life. And so, and honestly, not even just saying no, but finding ways to find clarity. No, I think no is a subset of that, right? Can you do this thing that's going to overwork and underpay you? No, I'm sorry. Can you do this thing that could be for the benefit of others, but is going to put you in a bad spot financially, mentally, and emotionally? No. But beyond that, you gained clarity because you said, no, I'm not going to do that thing, and thereby reserving energy for what you were actually meant to do. And so again, we're moving in purpose, right? Moving in your aligned purpose. How can you use the things that you've been blessed with to navigate the world? I'm a pharmacist, and one of my things was, I find myself being a lot more entrepreneurial. I really want to talk to the people. I really want to benefit the patient. And I tried a few different things, but nothing really quite clicked like retail from the patient counseling standpoint did. I didn't see anything in my practice that allowed me to sit and talk with patients, but I knew that was what I wanted to do. And so I said to anybody who would listen, I see myself in patient education. I want to counsel patients. I want to see patients go from poor health to good health outcomes. And you know what that resulted in? Me having a job that allowed me to do just that. And so what I want you to find is, and that's me in pharmacy school. Now for my pharmacy students, you need to do that. And if you talk to me, I'm going to tell you to do that. But for anybody that's not in pharmacy, the same rule still applies. What is it that you've seen and experienced in life that you like, that you find that I could do that, right? And talk about it. Formulate an elevator pitch on how you can do this thing really well, how this is the thing that you're meant to do. And then utilize that to create a career out of. So if people come to you for advice all the time, well, then maybe you should be a psychologist. Maybe you should be a social worker. Maybe you need to have your own practice where clients pay you to simply come and have a chat. It could look like a lot of different things. So get creative. Don't hold yourself within this box. Don't hold yourself within what society says that you have to do. You can do anything that you want to do. You are a magnificent being created on this earth for the benefit of others. And yes, you should have all the beautiful, wonderful things for yourself at the same time. So that's going to be my message today. Your doors will open when you take time to focus and get clarity for you. What are you put on this earth to do? I promise you there's something. You just got to find it. Peace and love. Dr. J.